हमने इसके पहले वीडियो में लेसन 1 के एक दो क्वेश्चन देखे थे। इसको थोड़ा एक बार देख लेते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो आईएमपी क्वेश्चन ये दिया गया था, व्हाट डिड फ्रांस नोटिस दैट वाज अनयूजुअल अबाउट द स्कूल डे। सेकंड आईएमपी दिया गया था, व्हाट हैड बीन पुट अप ऑन द बुलेटिन बोर्ड। What changes did the order from Berlin cause on school that day? How did France feeling about M. Hamel and school change? ये हमने IMP क्वेश्चन देखा था। Franz, who is the narrator of the story, always felt that M. Hamel was very strict and cranky also. He was not much interested in studies because he loved to spend time out of doors. However, he was shocked when he came to know that it was his last French class. He felt that he should have bothered about learning his lessons. He forgot about his teacher's ruler and felt he would miss him. He did not like the idea of giving up his books and lessons as they now seemed like old friends. यह क्वेश्चन हमने देखा था। एक और क्वेश्चन देख लेते हैं, बाद में नेक्स्ट लेसन शुरू करते हैं। What did Emil have to say about his friend's language? How did Emil wind up the last class? When the church clock struck 12, the class said prayers and M. Hamel looked pale and sad. He was leaving the school in which he had taught for 40 years. He stood up and tried to address the class, but was not able to speak, so he wrote, Vive la France! Long live France! He stopped and leaned his head against the wall. Then he made a gesture to the class to leave. ये IMP क्वेश्चन है, फिर से देख लेना। How did M. Hamel wind up the last class? ये क्वेश्चन थे। अभी नेक्स्ट लेसन है लॉस्ट स्प्रिंग। इसके 2-3 क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। व्हाट इज साहब लुकिंग फॉर इन द गार्बेज डम्प्स? वेयर इज ही एंड वेयर हैज ही कम फ्रॉम? इन द गार्बेज डम्प्स नियर Simapuri in Delhi, Saab looked for some useful items which could be sold for cash. As these items could be traded for money, they were just like gold for him. Saab and his family lived Simapuri, a slum on the outskirts of Delhi. His family had migrated from Bangladesh because the storms there had swept away their fields and homes. IMP question है lesson number 2, lost spring. What is Saib looking for in the garbage dumps? Where is he and where has he come from? In the garbage dumps near Simapuri in Delhi, Saib looked for some useful items which could be sold for cash. As these items could be traded for money, they were just like gold for him. Saib and his family lived in Simapuri, a slum on the outskirts of Delhi. His family had migrated from Bangladesh because the storms there had swept away their fields and homes. एक और क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। Is Saib happy working at the tea stall? Explain. The narrator found Saib carrying a steel canister and came to know that he had got a job at a tea stall where he would be paid 800 rupees and given meals. His face seemed unhappy and devoid of his carefree look. He was now tied down to work as a child laborer and is no longer independent to go scrounging in the garbage dumps. His canister seemed heavier than his plastic bag. What makes the city of Firozabad famous? The city of Firozabad is very famous for bangle making. It is a hazardous profession, but every second family in the town is engaged the business. Firozabad is center of India's glass blowing industries, where families have spent generations working around furnaces. They make beautiful bangles for the women in the country. एक और क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर लेते हैं. What makes the city of Firozabad famous? The city of Firozabad is very famous for bangle making. It is a hazardous profession, but every second family in the town is engaged in the business. Every second family in the town is engaged in the business. Firozabad is centers of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces. They make beautiful bangles for women in the country. How is Mukesh's attitude to his situation different from that of his family? Mukesh's father shifted from tailoring business to bangle making. He even taught his elder son to make bangles. He could teach his sons only what he knew. His grandmother accepted her husband's going blind from polishing bangles as his karam, his destiny. She believed that they could break their God-given lineage. However, Mukesh wanted to become a car mechanic and not continue bangle making, as one could never improve their conditions with that profession. एक और क्वेश्चन देख लेते हैं. What could be some of the reasons for the migration of people from villages to city? The people in the villages find it difficult to get employment, so they were forced to come to the cities to find jobs. Cities offered them food but not a proper place to stay. The farms in the villages had become unproductive and barren, so they were forced to leave them and come for a job to the cities. Such people did not mind living in slums and poor conditions if they were able to eat 2 meals a day for their families. अभी नेक्स्ट 2 लेसन इसके बाद के वीडियो में